You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Ruth Langsford, Colleen Nolan, Janet Street Porter, Linda Robson.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. Hello and welcome to you at home. Welcome to Tuesday's Loose Women Live. They're definitely live today. They are a lively lot. Coming up, it's been a dramatic week on Coronation Street, hasn't it? Tim and Aggie's secret friendship is finally out in the open. And Sally's not best pleased about it. But have they actually done anything wrong? We will be discussing that later. Also, did your menopause leave you feeling lonely? We're going to be revealing some shocking statistics from our exclusive menopause and relationship survey. And when it comes to guests, this one gets top marks from us. Yes, Anton Du Beke. He will be spilling the beans about this year's Strictly Come Dancing and telling us what it's like to be the nation's favourite talent show judge after winning the National Television Award. There he is. OK, starting with politics, speaking for the first time after most of her tax cuts announced in last month's mini-budget were scrapped, the Prime Minister, Liz Truss, has apologised to the nation.
First of all, I do want to accept responsibility and say sorry for the mistakes that have been made. I wanted to act, but to help people with their energy bills, to deal with the issue of high taxes, but we went too far and too fast.
OK, so there you have it. She said sorry, Janet. Interesting from a politician. Is sorry enough at this
Not
stage?
for me, I'm afraid.
No?
I think it was pretty feeble. And the pictures of her that are in all the papers today being interviewed by a political reporter, she's sitting there, she looks like a schoolgirl that's been called to the headmaster's study and given extra detention. I mean, I'm sorry, I think yesterday I said I thought we should have a general election, but now I just think she should go. And what I want...
As in she should go herself?
She should go by the end of the day. It would make my day. Because, frankly, I just want someone running the country who's boring, who's got
Isn't
a
Jeremy
plan.
Hunt running the country now?
Well, Jeremy Hunt seems to be running the country, but what he's in fact done is just cancel everything. But that's not a plan forward. He's just said, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, not doing the other. But what are we doing? Because we're still left with a giant black hole at the centre of our economy. People have got to be got back to work, they've got to want to work, they've got to feel they're properly rewarded and that work's worth doing. Because unless people go to work and the government have got an economic plan, we're going down the dumper. And frankly, I blame Liz Truss.
Well, as you said, okay, most of our audience agreeing with you there. You said there that the pictures of her looking like, you know, a naughty schoolgirl. I felt it was so humiliating watching Jeremy Hunt at the dispatch box giving the big speech, basically trashing everything, all her policies, and she just sat quietly, almost staring at the floor. And actually, I started to feel sorry for her, not because of the policies, and you say she brought that on herself, they were her policies. But at that moment, I mean, look, who looks in charge there? Not Liz Truss, not the Prime Minister.
But politics is brutal, isn't it?
It is brutal.
It's a brutal
It's so
game.
brutal. But Colleen, did you feel for her at that point? Yeah, I thought you would. 'Cause she's the nice one here, you see. She's the nice
No,
person.
you know, if I was her sister or whatever, or a family member, I'd have gone in there with a little blanket, I'd have put it around her shoulders and gone, come on, love, let's just go home. Just leave it alone. It's not for you.
It's not for you.
You've done your best. Cup of tea and a biscuit at home, we'll forget all about it. That's what I'd do.
Like, I'll ring in sick for you.
I'll ring in sick
I'll
for
ring
you.
and tell him
And
not
no one will
coming.
mind.
Yeah.
No one will mind.
But then...
So, I you know, the positive I can see from it is she is the actual, for me, whether you believe it was genuine or not, to hear a politician go, I'm sorry, I messed up, was a big thing for me, because none of them, as far as I can tell, have ever really said it and meant it, or I'm sorry, it was his fault. It's normally one of those, or I was badly advised. But she's taken the blame for it. She's doing her best. She's only been in, what, about 6 weeks. Everyone's like, she's messed the country up. The country was messed up when she came in.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. I just think we're so good at throwing the blame at people when it's all a mess, and I don't.
But sometimes
trust
they
any
have
of
to
them,
take
so-
responsibility. If you put yourself forward, which she did,
Yeah, but she
put
has
herself
taken
forward,
responsibility,
and it's
and I'm
gone
sorry.
horribly wrong. You know, the market's just lost faith. The pound tanked.
But my point
You
is
have to
cancelling all
hold
the
your
wrong
hand.
ideas hasn't got us out of the mess. And it's not as if we didn't know what Liz Truss's plan was, because we saw Liz Truss all summer long trying to get elected. There wasn't a day when she wasn't on the television telling all the voters just how fantastic she was going to be at the job. And I think that might be one of the problems, that we had the whole of August Liz Truss mania.
Yeah.
And then...
But if
when
she,
she's come
whether
in-
she steps down, Janet, or whether she's pushed, which is looking highly likely, who steps in? And now there is a petition asking... Janet, yeah. we have
No,
yeah,
they do.
We've actually put her forward.
Yeah.
We have put her forward, but nothing back from them yet. But there is a petition now calling for Boris Johnson to be brought back, Linda.
Yeah, see, I've always been a
10,000
Boris
Conservative
fan.
Party members and supporters.
I always get
saying-
slaughtered online or whatever whenever I say it, but I do. I mean, he lived in Islington. I used to see him all the time. He was really pleasant. He used to stop and talk to everybody. And I do think he did the best job that he could do, giving
He was
COVID.
pleasant.
What other Prime Minister has ever had to deal with COVID or anything? He was just...
And lie
frustrated.
through it while
And
he was having nice parties.
He wasn't
Exactly.
actually having the parties. His wife brought a cake into
Oh,
his party.
be quiet.
yeah.
Yes, she
All
did.
all
Yes, she
those
did. Yes, she did. But I just
working meetings
I
in
never
the
even
garden.
heard of Liz Truss. I didn't even know, but she just looks like she's too weak to run the country. She seems... I felt sorry for her, you know,
So
like...
do you think you need someone with personality? Whatever,
do,
even if
yeah,
the policies
yeah.
are somebody else's.
Or a
you
bit
need
of
someone
charm.
from
You've got to
there.
deal with lots of people,
The last
haven't
thing
you?
we need is a big personality. What we need is someone who's not going to do a U-turn. And Boris was master of the U-turn. Go back to the beginning of COVID. All the scientists told him we must be having lockdown. No, he dithered for 2 weeks. Do you remember the NHS app that they tested on everyone in the Isle of Wight that was going to solve all
Yeah,
our problems?
that disappeared
Then
quickly.
That was junked. Marcus Rashford, he was not going to... Marcus Rashford was going to campaigning for school meals. He wasn't going to listen. Then he did listen. I mean, Boris has had loads of U-turns, loads of U-turns.
Well, I think so many of them have, haven't they? I think, do you end up losing faith in politicians generally?
Oh,
do you believe any
absolutely. I
of
don't-
them?
Well, they're all the same
No.
anyway, aren't they? They all start off with good intentions, and then what happens?
Yeah,
All
well, we're
goes out
saying
the
there is
window.
this petition, Bring Back Boris. Let's ask the audience, actually. Hands up if you would like to see Boris Johnson back at the helm as Prime Minister. Well, half. I would
about
say
half
kind of
would.
half.
No,
Yeah.
not as many as...
Well, OK. All right.
A third.
Quite hard to... It's a bit more than a third, I think. But anyway, I'm not going to split hairs with you, Janet. But we did ask you at home as well, should Boris Johnson return as Prime Minister? 65% of you said no. 35, yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's 2/3.
Yeah, all right, all right. It's like my maths teacher now.
Carol Vorderman over here, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Anyway, let us know what you think, because we do love to hear from you. This is your show, after all. Now, let's talk about James Corden. Now, he was banned from one of New York's most famous restaurants because he complained so rudely about his order. Now, the owner of the restaurant tweeted this: James Corden is a hugely gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man. Ooh, ouch. And the most abusive customer to my Balthazar, that's the name of the restaurant's servers, since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, that's quite something, isn't it, to put that out on Twitter. James Corden, apparently, after he saw that tweet, he did call the owner, he apologised for berating the staff, and the owner, very magnanimously, said, OK, I'll accept your apology, you're not banned anymore. So, rude behaviour, Colleen, in a restaurant. Can it
Anywhere,
be forgiven? Would
but
you
in a
have forgiven
restaurant.
him?
I'd have given that restaurant owner a medal. Because
banning him?
For banning him, yeah, because he didn't accept the rude... I can't stand rude behaviour. I don't care who you are, how famous you are, if you work, you know, in a supermarket, if you're a rude person, you're a rude person, and I have absolutely no time for it. And I think he was really brave because James Corden is a massive star, you know, and most people go, well, I can't ban him because he's going to bring bigger stars in and they've got lots of money and all that. But he didn't. He thought about his staff first and he didn't accept it. And I think it's brilliant. And I think we should all... And I just think we should all not accept, you know, we shouldn't accept rude behaviour. I've got a friend of mine that when I go out sometimes, she's so rude when we go into restaurants, like she's looking for a row. Like she'll search her plate.
Well,
looking for
Janet.
something.
Janet's
Actually, not rude.
No,
she's
she's
not
not.
joking.
She's not.
But yeah, it's and I can't stand it. I won't go out with her now.
It's interesting you say that, you know, you give that restaurant owner an award. Years and years ago, when I was a teenager, I was working in a hotel as a waitress in my summer holidays. This lovely couple who ran it, and some people came in and I was taking their order, and there was something on the menu that had already got, you know, so they had 10 Dover sole that night, small, tiny hotel in Cornwall. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, the Dover sole's gone. Anyway, this man was really rude to me. And I was quite young, so I didn't quite know what to do. And I just stood there with my pen and paper thinking, oh, I don't really know what to do now. And suddenly my then boss appeared. He said, I'll take it from here, Ruth. And he spoke very quietly to them, and suddenly they got up and left, and he asked them to leave.
Yeah, it's
and he
good.
said, "No,
Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely good for him. You know? And as staff, we absolutely worshipped them because they treated us so well and wouldn't allow that kind of behaviour that we would have done.
But equally, the other way around, I don't like rude staff if they're rude.
No.
Yeah.
To you as a customer.
But that
just
story,
bad.
when I read it, I suddenly realised I'd been to that restaurant, Balthazar, and I'd actually had lunch with the owner, Kevin McNally, who put that tweet out. And
She has.
No, but I mean, the thing about Kevin, that guy
She's
is...
turning into Biggins with all her name dropping. Isn't
No, but she genuinely does know all these
Yeah.
people.
Well, I
She's so
did
jealous.
hear him, and the thing about him is he doesn't suffer fools, and I was really impressed that he put that tweet
Yeah,
out.
it's
But
amazing.
we've all worked in restaurants. I
Yeah.
worked in a restaurant. I worked in one in Jermyn Street many years ago. I was probably about 17, 18, and I needed some money because I was going on holiday with my boyfriend at the time. And it was right near a really posh store that the Queen used to go to and everything. And all the staff that were in there were these young boys that had been to like Cambridge or Oxford, and they were all in these uniforms. And they treated me quite rudely as well. I think because I was Cockney and they were quite posh, they sort of spoke down to me. And it was horrible. It was really, really horrible. And I hated being in there, but I needed the money for my holiday, so I had to put up with it, didn't I?
So did you ever fight back? Did you
I
say
did a
anything
few
back?
times say, don't be so bloody rude.
I was...
And they never tipped either.
They didn't tip.
Oh, I
They got
could never
a-
get a tip when I was a waitress. I was absolutely useless.
No, but then when you do get it,
Why
they
are
put
you
it
all
on top.
laughing in the studio? I can't imagine why.
Imagine her just throwing it down at
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's your food. Can't
Yeah.
believe you're eating that rubbish.
But people go, where's the salt and pepper? I go, on it. But I think what's happened now is that I do feel sorry for staff in some restaurants because they're told by the owners, because times are really tough for restaurants at the moment. And, you know, not as many people are going out since COVID. And you do know when you're in a restaurant, they constantly come up all the time. It's like, how's it for you? Is that all right? And you just think, all right, give me a little bit of space. You know, allow me to put 2 mouthfuls in.
I'd rather that than the other way around.
me too.
Yeah.
Fortunately for the restaurant trade, Janet went into television. So, yeah, thumbs up. OK, we've got to take a break now, but still to come, we have got a Corrie debate for you, and Anton du Beke is our judge today. He's going to be here. And then coming next, we're going to be discussing shocking new statistics about the number of women whose menopause left them feeling more isolated than ever before. So lots for you. Don't go away. See you in a minute. Thank you very much. Hello, welcome back to Loose Women. Now, still to come, how close is too close? This week, Coronation Street Sally found out about Tim and Aggie's secret friendship. But, did they actually do anything wrong? We'll be discussing that. And when he's not flashing his paddle, he's putting pen to paper. Yes, Strictly Judge Anton du Beke will be here. Yes. Before any of that, though, competition time for you. A life-changing £100,000. Very good wooing. Well done. Lines close this Friday at 3, so get entering now. Here's Laura Hamilton with all the details.
We're counting down to the close of our Autumn Boost giveaway, and to celebrate, I've come to join a very special wellness session with Ellie at the Salt Box in Surrey.
And just release it through your mouth.
Yes, it's £100,000 in cold hard cash.
It's like having an extra £8,000 every month for an entire year. It's a life-changing amount of money, and I don't want you to miss out.
So, Laura, are you feeling the benefits of having your feet on the ground?
I think so, but now I'm just seeing a spider crawling over my feet. I'm not quite so sure. Anyway, back to our competition. Remember, lines close at 3 p.m. on Friday, so get entering. I'm going to go and wash my feet. Ah!
For another chance to win, text cash to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 781119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36 PO Box 7558 Derby, DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday 21st of October at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Laura. Now, today is World Menopause Day, a subject you'll know we're always very keen to talk about on this show. And as part of our Menopause Manifesto campaign, we launched an exclusive Loose Women Menopause and Relationships survey. Now, 2,500 of you took part, and the results make for very interesting reading. And 48% of you said that your menopause symptoms led to you socialising less. 1 in 3 said that you weren't good company, or you didn't think you were while going through the menopause. And 43% of those surveyed said they felt lonely during the menopause. And, you know, every time we talk about the menopause, Colleen, something new kind of comes up, doesn't it? That we go, gosh, really, is that how women feel? And, you know, we seemed quite surprised at first. We said, lonely? Why lonely? But then the more we discussed it,
I mean,
go, yes, actually,
it's
people
not
feel a bit
something,
isolated
it's not
sometimes.
something you associate with menopause, but actually because we talked about it today, I thought, oh, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I know I think for me, the problem is that the menopause and my children being of an age where they were all old enough to go off and live their own lives or leave home, and they don't really need you in that capacity. For me, that was the loneliness. So I think it was me feeling, look at them all, because they're all at home. They were all at home at this point, and I was looking at them thinking, look at them, they're all so young and they're all discussing what they want for the future. And then there's nature saying to me, you're done now, love, you can pop off. Surplus to requirements. That's what it felt like. It really felt like I don't know what my purpose is anymore, really. Yeah. You know, I've done what nature intended, which was have these 3 beautiful children, and now I'm done. And then my children were all making plans, and I think that moment I thought, even though my house was full, I was thinking, oh, I feel really lonely. It's a really lonely feeling. But I decided at that point, I'm not going to let this overwhelm me. I have to push through this, because I think if you overwhelm yourself with it and you start thinking of months or years ahead of where you might be on your own, I think that's when you can get into a really, really dark, depressive place. And I thought, no, this will pass. This feeling will pass. They will carry on their own lives. You'll still be part of their lives, and you've just got to make the effort to go out there and live it. And that's how I got through
And actually, it was interesting saying that percentage of women saying, I feel like I'm not very good company, therefore I've kind of stopped going out and I've stopped socialising, and then that can cause loneliness. So it's this kind of spiral, Janet.
Yeah, and then you've got to add into the mix the dreadful impact of COVID on people's mental health. And so the point about menopausing is you are ageing, and all the things all the anxieties that brings with it about how you look, low self-esteem anyway. And then you bring in COVID, where you had this enforced isolation. And then after COVID, it seems, especially in my age group, a lot of people didn't go out so much that they seem to have retreated into their homes, that they're more anxious about mixing with people for a whole variety of reasons. And certainly during COVID, it coincided with me, the builders leaving my house, and suddenly I'm in a house with no neighbours in quite an isolated place, and I'm in it, and I'm thinking, and we weren't coming into the studio. Plus I'd had the diagnosis of the skin cancer on my nose, and so I had to wait for the operation. And I felt really low. I mean, I admit that. And I was desperate to come back in the studio and see all of you lot. And just, you know, have a laugh face to face as opposed to over the screen. And now I feel that I must make an effort to have friends all different ages. And that's what I would say to women watching. Don't fall into the trap of only knowing people your age or people who are related to you, because like Colleen said, your family are going to naturally move away. And I found with my older friends...
I've struggled really badly with that because all my kids have moved out now. So I had my son and my daughter at home during COVID and their partners as well. And then, obviously, they've found somewhere to live. My son actually lives in a flat downstairs, but he's still not in my house anymore. So their bedrooms are still upstairs. I still buy shopping for them, hoping that they're going to turn up for dinner one day. And that. So I feel really, really lonely at home now because it's just me and my husband. He's out most of the time. I'm working or away or whatever. So, yeah, I've been feeling really, really lonely. I've really struggled
like
with it.
Colleen said, it comes at the wrong... So just when your body is...
I walk past their
starting
bedrooms
going
and
through
start
the
crying, you know, like, yeah, because I really miss them and that. And they're two vegans.
I don't miss mine that much.
There's two vegans, so I still buy all the shopping for vegans. I've got it all in the fridge, hoping that
I
they'll
could
come
come and
round
live
for
with
dinner.
you.
Do you think you're kind of going to lure them back?
Yeah, I hope
in,
so.
Why don't you stay?
I mean, they all
Look,
live
I've got
5 minutes
sausages.
away from me, but they're all with their partners now, and Lauren's got the kids, obviously, and she works and that. So it's just me and my husband and the dog. The dog's been a real big help, apart from when she had a big poo on the bathroom floor and I trod in it yesterday. Then I wanted to kill her. It was like a cow's pat.
Oh, no! Linda!
Linda!
But no, she's been
Then you get
a
the
big help because
menopause
I take her
rage.
for walks and everything,
Yeah.
so she keeps me
She
company,
gives you the
really.
reason
She does,
wow.
yeah. But I do miss
They
my
also,
kids.
you know, the advice, and we give it ourselves on this show, but we're lucky we can talk to each other. But we'll say, you know, you've got to talk about the menopause. We mustn't shy away from it. We mustn't use words like, oh, it's the change and keep it quiet. But then I live in a house with two men, or Jack's nearly, you know, pretty much gone now. But you don't really have... I have those discussions with my girlfriends, and Eamon's very supportive, but you don't kind of have the same conversations. And I think it's important, actually, that partners understand the menopause.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time women say, you know, my partner thought I was going mad, or I thought I was going mad. So it's, you know, that's what our Menopause Manifesto is all about. So on World Menopause Day, if you are feeling lonely, like Janet said, just talk to somebody. Pick up the phone, whether it's to an old friend or somebody that you feel you can talk to.
Make a plan.
Make a plan, yeah. And thank you very much for taking part in our survey. OK. Well, thank you to you, actually. Thanks to you. Now, still to come today, should we ban the handyman? Well, the title, at least. Find out which one of us thinks we should take a leaf out of the Aussies book and ditch gendered job titles. And Corrie's Tim and Aggie must face the music now that their secret friendship is finally out in the open. But have they actually done anything wrong? Good old debate on that one, right up our street. We'll see you after this.
The Loose Men are taking over the show once again. Join me and my incredible panel, Diversity's Jordan Banjo and Strictly winner Aurea Duba and the Dark Destroyer himself, The Chase's Sean Wallace. We'll be opening up about the topics that matter most to all of us. Nothing will be off limits. You won't want to miss it. Loose Men, Thursday at 12:30.
Hello, welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women. As you've just seen, Loose Men is back this Thursday at 12:30, so tune in for that if you can. Back to today, though, and alongside me, Ruth Langsford, all the way through to 1:30, it is Colleen Nolan, Janet Street-Porter and Linda Robson. And still to come, he's the king of ballrooms, Strictly judge, and my former dance partner, Anton Dubek, will be here fresh from his win as Best Judge at the National Television Awards. OK, so I said we've got a bit of a conundrum for you. OK, this is a Corrie conundrum. OK, so the secret friendship between Sally's husband, Tim, and their neighbour, Aggie, has finally been exposed, and it's left Tim and Aggie's partners wondering what's really been going on.
He sent me a text. I bet it's filthy.
Yeah, best to leave it till later, then, eh?
Who was this meant for?
Aggie.
Finally did the deed with Sally. Couldn't have got through the last few months without you, Kiss.
It's not what you think.
I'm not interested in what you've got to say, you mucky cow. What have you been doing with my husband?
Look, are you interested or aren't you interested?
Aggie, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and for how long?
I never cheated on you.
Not physically you didn't, but emotionally and mentally you did, and that's just as bad.
Is it? Is it, though?
Oh, is it though? That is the question. So both Tim and Aggie say their friendship is innocent. However, they did keep it secret. So if you don't follow Corrie, basically, Tim had a heart problem, health problem. He didn't want to confide in his wife, Sally, so he confided in Aggie, who is a nurse and happens to be his neighbour. So he saw her at the hospital. He looked worried. They had a chat. And it's kind of continued. It's gone on for a long time, this storyline, hasn't it? And they've drip-fed it. So they meet in the little garden sometimes and she goes, how are things? And then they were having bedroom problems, you see, Tim and Sally.
You know we're on fair enough.
And he started confiding in the bedroom things. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, and it's all thing. And then he got Aggie to help choose a present for Sally, the necklace, and it's all got much bigger, Colleen. Help them.
What's got bigger?
Help them.
What's got bigger?
It's this thing that was just like a little friendship has suddenly blown out of all proportion. But is it because they kept it secret? Is that the problem, do you think, their friendship?
Yes, I do think why they keep it. Because if there's nothing to hide, then why are you keeping it secret? You know, why can't you say?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, why can't you say, look, I get on really well with Aggie and Aggie comes over for tea or whatever, and then you go, I just find it easy to talk to her. I think when it's all hidden, instantly, the other partner goes, you're hiding it, there's something going on. I also think talking about sex to a member of the opposite sex can make... I don't know, women are funny. I'm funny. Like, you know, if...
You're not that funny.
She can be funny.
Oh, anyway.
Bold that one right out.
So, I think, girls... no, I do think it's a really difficult situation. I really do. I do think you should be able to be friends, but it's very, very hard because where's the line? And normally, one person, whether it's the man or the woman, can feel a bit different.
Oh, do you think there's no such thing as platonic friendship?
Well, there is.
between a man
Like,
and a woman?
I've got male friends, and that's all they are to me is male friends. You know, I don't think of them as any other way.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think they.
But how do you know they don't think of you?
Well, Ruth, we're only human.
Now that's funny. That's funny.
No, but you don't know.
No.
But I don't feel that from them, and I don't feel that for them either.
Do you think it's because, Janet, possibly, in the storyline, it's quite intimate because he was having problems in the bedroom and he talked to Aggie because she was a nurse, but even so, she's a woman, their neighbour, and he's telling them, look, you're telling her, and Sally's found out that he's been
Why didn't he
discussing
tell
their
Sally?
sex life. Because he felt embarrassed. He didn't know how to talk to Sally.
Well, I think that's a shame, but that means their relationship's kind of on the rocks anyway, isn't it? If you
Well,
can't...
she's kind of said that. She's
yeah,
kind
well,
of
I
said
kind
if
of
we can't
think
discuss it.
I have no problem with any. I've never had a problem with any of my partners being friends with women. Mind you, when they say, "Oh, I'm seeing so and so," I go, "Which one? One you're at college with, i.e., they're like in their 60s. That's fine.
Yeah.
One who used to work for you as a glamorous waitress, not so fine.
not so-
So yeah, well, I do have a bit of a double standard, but I think if you can't discuss something with your partner and you find it easier to talk to a neighbour who's married to someone who lives in your street.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
can of
good.
worms, Linda. Can
No,
of
I
worms.
don't think so. My husband's not very sociable, so whenever I'm going to a do or something, I always ask one of the boys from Loose Women. So Matty, one of our producers, or Jordan, they come with me. And my husband keeps
As your
going to-
handbag.
As my handbag, yeah. So my husband goes, "Who's this Matty you keep going out with all the time? What's he look like?" I said, he's young, but he's fine. I've known him for years and years and years. There's nothing in it. They're just our mates, aren't they? All the boys on the show and everything. So I have a great time when I go out with them.
But if it was the other way round...
I'd have the amp.
Yeah.
I do think
classic
because they're only young.
Double standard.
They're only young as well, so yeah,
Double
I'll be fuming.
And if your woman's giving your partner advice to him, like if she's saying, "Well, I think you should say this to her," and then he comes
I
back,
don't like the present
and then
thing
he
either.
comes back.
Lady's face. She's like, oh no.
Oh yeah, asking a woman to choose a present for your wife is totally dodgy.
Yeah.
That happened to me once.
You
They
probably get a
no,
nicer
no.
present. You probably get a better present.
I was going to say, I would rather someone ask you, "What do you think Colin would like?" than
As a joke book.
you know, this is going to be all over the magazines next week.
Yeah.
Because we're always at war.
We're always
It's
at
not
war.
always astounded at Colleen and Ruth not getting on. You know, friends have been saying privately it's been going on for some time.
Years. We've been at war for years.
Actually, it's quite nice to see you being funny.
Touche, partner. Touche. What else were we going to talk
No,
about?
she's going to change the subject.
No, this was a good one. New research has just come out, and it says that more than half of people working in the trade sector agree that words like handyman should be scrapped, as it discriminates against women, and instead we should be using non-gendered words like, sparkies, chippies, brickies, that kind
Why
of thing.
can't you say handyman and handy woman?
Well, I think it's just because historically it was
always
been
been a handyman,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Handyman, but there are now women that do these jobs, and brickies, and electricians, and plumbers, and they're kind of saying you can't use those kind of gendered terms anymore.
Well, I think that's a good idea. This morning, I was waiting for a plumber at 8 o'clock this morning.
We know.
My boiler's got a sticker on it saying dangerous, do not use.
She wears the same sticker.
You're on a roll!
That's funny.
You know, it's quite a long time to Halloween, but the witches are out already. I wouldn't have cared if a man, woman, gender-fluid Martian had come through my door, but when I left for work, they had not arrived. No, I'm all in favour of anyone who can do the job ought to be called, like in Australia, a tradie. Where if you do a trade, whether it's carpentry, electricians, or you're a plumber or whatever, you're called a tradie, and it's regarded as a really great job, and you're respected in the community, not regarded as someone who's
I'm in
second best option at
absolute awe
college.
and huge respect for people that do those jobs.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at all that stuff. So,
But also, it's only the word handyman, because if you employ a plumber, it could be man, woman.
Electrician.
if you say booking a plumber, are you automatically thinking that will be a man? Would you be pleasantly surprised?
I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
I'd be so impressed because she would make me feel even more useless than I am at doing anything DIY around my house, and I would champion her and go, well done you, I'm ashamed of myself.
I mean, to be fair, more and more girls are studying engineering and going into the construction industry and, becoming electricians.
Yeah.
My dad was an electrician.
Great.
And sadly hasn't passed any of that skill on to me. A bit like
Just a
Colleen.
sharp tongue.
What is happening to Ruth today? Phone in!
We're going to take a break. Coming up after that, he's used to sharing a panel with 3 opinionated judges. But let's see how he gets on with 4 very opinionated loose women. He won't be scared. Anton du Beke gives his verdict on this year's Strictly. See you in a bit. Welcome back to Loose Women. Now, coming up in just a moment, I have left my Anton broom at home today because my dance partner and Strictly judge, Anton du Beke, will be actually here live in the studio in just a moment. Before he's here, though, competition time. Lines close this Friday, so do get entering today. Here's Laura Hamilton with all the details.
We all know the benefits of the Great Outdoors ride. And look at it here. It is absolutely beautiful. But all of this has made me quite peckish. So lucky me, because I'm off to meet Christian from the Salt Box in Surrey for a wild cooking lesson.
And while I do that, here's another chance to win the big one, our astonishing £100,000 cash prize.
Oh. I mean, hello. That's not too good, is it? What an amazing experience. And can you imagine what you could do with all that cash? And whilst I'm eating this amazing food, why don't you pick up the phone and enter to win our amazing prize of a whopping £100,000. Remember, lines close at 3 p.m. on Friday. Don't miss out, so get entering.
For another chance to win, text cash to 81119. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 781119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36 PO Box 7558 Derby, DE10NQ. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday 21st of October at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Laura. Yes, good luck with that. Now, today's guest is not only my previous partner in crime, but he's also your favourite talent show judge.
The National Television Award goes to Anton de Beck.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody who voted. Thank you to everybody who's watching the show. Thank you to my wife.
Ah, that's lovely, isn't it? Please welcome Strictly Judge and National Television Award winner, no less, Anton du Beke.
Hello, my love. How are you?
Here's our judge, favourite judge. Congratulations.
Can I just say, my favourite award at the NTAs was that award.
Oh.
Because it was so well deserved.
Let's hug it out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I did tell everybody I loved them. I love you.
Me?
That dance we did earlier.
That was a traumatic
That was-
experience
well,
for me.
You was good.
You
I
could
was
have been where
like a
was standing.
prom. I was like...
enjoyed it enormously. You're lovely to get all sort of in hold with, and you.
Yeah, well, my husband's
swept
obviously
across
know
the
that.
floor. Well,
Which one out of the 5?
Oh, right. No, you were very, very patient. But I noticed you've had a fantastically calming influence on the show. Look at these two now. They're smiling, they've stopped bickering, they're simpering.
They would never bicker.
Simpering.
They were shocking before you.
Really?
No.
Yes.
Listen, so proud of you, that
Thank
award.
you.
So proud of you. When you were waiting for your name to be called, you know, because everyone's got maybe a little speech in their head hoping,
Nothing.
what did you think your chances were?
Slim. I didn't think I stood a chance, really. I mean, it was so nice. I can't... We're always sort of, don't get... Oh, don't get... Oh, no. Oh, no, don't get above yourself. Don't get above yourself. So I'm thinking, oh, no. So I thought, I haven't got any chance when I got announced. And I thought, I don't know. I might have a chance at this. And then I had a look at the other people on the thing and I went, what am I thinking about? Look at them, I've got no chance. And I'm sat on the end there and the camera's there and I'm thinking, OK, right, all right, let's see. Right, no, you've got
Getting
no
your
chance.
loser
Don't worry.
face ready.
You've got no chance, don't worry. And I'm thinking, I might have a chance. No, of course you haven't got a chance. And then I started going, please let me win, please let me win. Started begging. In my head, I'm going, you're begging, right? Yes, I know! And it was the best thing ever. I can't tell you how fabulous it was.
It's so good.
I loved
and voted for by people
and I know,
like this.
which makes it more special. Makes it more special. Thank you. Genuinely, I'm so grateful because everyone knows how much I love the show. I've been on the show since it began, and I absolutely love the show. And I love everybody who watches the show, and everyone's been so nice. And I mean, I was at a motorway service station yesterday, and people were just heading out the car going, "Well done on your award."
Fantastic.
And it's so nice, and I genuinely am thrilled.
Because
and
also,
grateful
we've all
to
loved
everybody.
you dancing on the show.
Yes.
Obviously, favourite.
The irony, of course, is I've been dancing for 400 years, and the first time I win an award is when I'm sat down. I mean, humiliation.
But, we've loved watching you dancing. But there comes a point where you think, like, where's that going? How long? I mean, I don't want to bring up your age.
No,
but,
thanks very much.
But you have done.
You sort of have done a bit.
Yes,
haven't you?
I was just leading you into something that you said yourself about.
Did I?
Into that
Doubt
kind of,
it.
they're bringing in younger and
The
younger
denial,
dancers.
Yeah, well,
so where were you going to go if it wasn't onto the judges' panel?
It's funny actually because at the Royal Ballet, for example, when you always sort of get these fabulous dancers and they're all playing Romeo and the romantic leads and all that sort of stuff. And next thing you know, they're suddenly playing like Mr. Montague himself in the Capulet. Suddenly a character role.
Yeah.
And all the young sort of studs come in and give it all of that with the thing and ooh. I felt I was getting... When we were doing group dances, I felt I was like the captain of the ship, like this. And everyone's coming down with a vest and a thrust. And I'm at the back, the ship, and I'm with a cap going, go on, my son, off you go. I was so far... What they do with those group dances, over the years, when you started the group dances, we'd be down the front, and it'd be lovely. And as the years go on...
You move back.
You get moved back a bit in a group and move back. I was so far back, I was having a conversation with Dave Hart. Hiya, Dave. Lovely to see you. So I think, you know, they were trying to tell me something.
There's been a lot in the papers this week about the Strictly mole. A lot of people very angry that
that's
the
on my
result
nerves.
is, the result of Who's Gone Out is being leaked.
Yes.
Please
stop. I don't know who you are, but please don't do it. Why would you do it?
Would that be the audience that are there watching
I don't know.
the show? They don't know where it's
Nobody
coming
knows who it is. The audience, like the people who go to the Mousetrap, for example, has been going for years, and we're all in it together. You know, and knowledge is power and all that sort of stuff. So, and everyone sort of has an agreement. We won't say anything, so I don't know who does it. But they call you a spoiler for a reason, because you're a spoiler. Don't do it. But then, of course, the other option is, of course, don't read it. So it's
hard to avoid with social media.
Well, it is really.
Isn't it,
But
really?
yeah, try to stop spoiling it, please, because. You know,
listen, when you're
people don't wanna know.
when you're not on the judging panel at Strictly and being fabulous, you're writing books, and this is number 5. Anton Dubek, The Ballroom Blitz. So this is back at the Buckingham Hotel.
Buckingham Hotel.
You don't have to have read the others, do you?
No,
Each
they're
one
all
you-
stand-up brilliantly done there,
Of course.
my darling. You're the best. You don't have to have read the others, but you'll want to. It's set. They are standalone novels, but the characters, you know, Raymond de Guise and Nancy Nettleton and Billy Brogan.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Billy. We love
He's a
Billy.
beauty.
He's the one, isn't he?
He's a little favourite of mine, old Billy. It's just lovely to see how they've evolved over the books. But this one here, the backdrop is the Blitz, and it's set in 1940, and it's all the goings-on of sort of the hotel, really, and the upstairs and the downstairs, all the people that are hotel, all the sort of landed gentry and foreign dignitaries coming and staying at the hotel, and then the people who are servicing the hotel, all the staff there. But, of course, in their own lives, their houses are being bombed. And it is all of the relationships, really, and the goings-on.
Anton, would you like it to be made into a TV
Oh,
series?
please, if anyone's
Because
watching...
as you were describing that, I'm thinking of Upstairs, Downstairs,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Mr Selfridge.
Yeah.
You know,
a
the
massive inspiration for me, really. Upstairs and Downstairs, certainly, because when I was young, we watched,
Yeah.
you know, Upstairs and Downstairs. And I love that feeling, you know, the sort of Downton thing where you have the upstairs and downstairs, but I also have that feeling about, with people, that you have, you know, everybody's got a bit of an upstairs and a downstairs about themselves, you know, and...
On this
And I
panel,
find it-
by the way, Anne.
Janet would be upstairs and the rest of us
I
would
was
be
going to
downstairs.
say, you've got 4 women here, upstairs or downstairs?
all of them massively upstairs. The penthouse suites. And but I think the way I write the books, I see it in my mind. I mean, the whole thing's played out in my mind, so it looks incredible to me, and so I love it to be dramatised because I think it would look amazing, and of course the script would be fascinating.
Will I be the star in the leading role? Yeah.
Yes, you'd be Helen Marchmont.
That's good, because we've only got 10 seconds, so getting that in. Lovely to see you, partner.
Lovely to see you,
Congratulations, your NTA winner. Everyone. Thank you so much. That is it for today, I'm afraid. Tomorrow we're joined by Hollywood royalty, no less, Gina Davis. Also, our lovely friend Alison Hammond will be stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Hope you can join us tomorrow. Bye-bye.